Well, there is no disputing the fact that good mentors are necessary, but in difficult times, mentoring, like everything else, has taken a hit. And now we've got Sadiq Ali. He is the executive director of Maryland Mentor. Thank you so much for being with us.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm so sad we aren't in person.
I know mentorship is one of those things that typically we wouldn't all be together. So, how critical is mentoring for young people, just in general?
At the core of mentoring is the core of, what's important to all of us in life, and that is relationships. And we know that with the power of relationships, mountains have been moved, industries have been built, et cetera. And, not only is it no different for young people, it's especially magnified for our young people because relationships are the gateway to them learning, to them, developing a strong and healthy sense of self. Relationships are at the core of so much of what our young people need to grow and develop. So it's absolutely critical.
And so, talk about how this pandemic has affected young people in particular.
Anything that adults feel and are going through, it's amplified, it's exaggerated for our young people. So for all the adults out here, right, that are being deprived or feel lonely, our young people feel that 100 times more. If you're feeling disconnected from friends and family, our young people are feeling that 100 times more. If you can't work, right, via Zoom and you're having struggles with your productivity, our young people feel it 100 times more. So if we look at that in reverse, our young people, research is telling us, are feeling more and more disconnected from school. They're not motivated right now because we know the power of one relationship in that school building was enough to draw that young person to school to begin with. And now it's just really, really tough to build some of those relationships virtually. It's just really, really hard. So our young people are having a very, very tough time right now.
Talk about this need for mentorship at this time and the 500 virtual mentor recruitment challenge that you have going on.
As the pandemic was ramping up, we were all fumbling around back in March and April, and we know again our young people bear the brunt of that sort of fumbling around in the dark. We didn't know what we were doing, so as schools have sort of tightened up and gotten better as the fall semester launched, we as Maryland Mentor looked around and said, you know what? A lot of our mentoring program partners have been able to again basically figure out the best ways to still support young people. We know the need is still there. We have a ton of mentoring programs that are still operating. So we said to ourselves as Maryland Mentor, knowing that folks are going back to school, what is something that we could do? So we put our heads together with about 50 or so of our local program partners in the Baltimore metro area, Montgomery County, Prince George's County, DC. And we said, we need to let the community know, we need to let the area know, the region know that not only is mentoring alive and well, but there is still a stark need for folks to get involved. We see a lot of what's going on in the news, but a lot of what we see a lot of times in terms of bad news, we have the ability to head that off by being present and supporting young people as they have tough decisions to make. So the 500 Virtual Mentor Challenge is our contribution to basically let folks know that, again, we are recruiting, mentoring is alive and well, and this is an opportunity for folks, which I think the number is shrinking, those folks that have so much extra time now because of the pandemic, but there are still some that because of a commute or lack thereof, you now have a couple extra hours in your day or in your week that you now could do something with. So the 500 Virtual Mentor Challenge is us recruiting folks to become mentors, do it from the comfort of your own home. There's 50 programs right now that each do something a little bit differently, but again, could use your support in connecting you with a young person right now.
That is what I was going to ask you, what sort of mentorship is asked for, but you just hit the nail on the head, is that it runs the gamut so that you can sort of pick and choose what is the right fit for you as a potential mentor. So as we wrap up, people want to know, how do we sign up? Where do we go?
Yes. So you can visit absolutely marylandmentor.net/500 virtual mentors, or you can visit us on social media. That's at Maryland Mentor on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. There's a whole bunch of other ones out there, but get involved. We need you. This is the holiday season. This is the time for giving. And we want folks to not only reflect on how fortunate and blessed we are as individuals, but what opportunities do we have to pay it forward? And that's what this challenge is about, paying it forward for our youngest people who we know could benefit from it. So get involved. We ask you, we encourage you, we appreciate you.
All right. Sadiq Ali, thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate it. And we will be right back with more Midday Maryland right after this. Stay tuned.